Hi, this is Emil. What we want to do is go through a little tutorial here to show you how to upgrade your Classifieds Redux component to the latest 6.0 version. And the reason for that is because the columns and the display positions have been changed drastically to give you, the webmaster, considerably more power over how you display your info. Okay, I'm using a Joomla 3.0 demo here. So you're going to notice that the screen looks a little different from the old 2.5, but functionally it's all the same. Okay, I've already installed the component and have it set up, and we'll just quickly go to the configuration tab. This one is running version 5.0, which is basically Joomla 3.0 compatible. Okay, and let's just go to columns right away and look at the display here. And as you can see, the columns, all they allowed you in the past was two columns that you could use, price and city. You could actually add a third column or eliminate one of these, but these other columns, this one where the image was and the headline and description and the date, those were fixed. The only way to alter those were to actually change the the coding itself. Okay, so we're trying to eliminate that so that you don't have to do those changes. You'll be able to make upgrades in the future. Okay, so let's just go back into extensions, and we're going to install the newest version. And we're back. We installed it. So now let's go back to components, and let's go to the columns, and it's now called list columns, a little more descriptive than it used to be. You should just say columns. Okay, now you can see that there's a couple more columns here. Of course, image column is empty, as is content and date. Basically, those have replaced what used to be. And of course, all you see are price and city with information filled in. If we jump to the old listing, this was the image column, which couldn't be changed. Same for the content column and the date column. Okay, so we're just going to go back in here. And first thing we want to do is we want to make the image column, click on image or click on the square. And we want to make sure this is going to be the first one in order. Okay, and that looks fine. We're going to leave the title display on for now. We'll turn it off later on. Okay, then the next column we want is actually the content column. You can click on the name again or click on the checkbox and click edit. In this one, we want to make sure the order is number 2. Again, we'll leave the display column, the display title in place. And then the third column we want is going to be our price column. Make sure that that's in order number 3. Okay, we'll change that. Leave the title to display. And see, already they're starting to line up. Then we want to change the city column and make that in position 4. And make sure that the date column says 5. Yes, it does. So we'll just jump right out of this. So if we scroll down, you can see there's more information here to give you info on what's going to be displayed. And of course, nothing else is showing except for the price and city, because those are the only ones assigned. So we'll have to go back in and assign things. Okay, but this is the multi-column layout. In this case, it's only set for 2 columns. And you have these titles are here. They're dimmed out just to give you a better indication as to what these columns represent. Okay, if we click on the listing here, and we'll just refresh this screen quickly, and it should come up and we won't see the images. The only thing we should see are the price and quantity information. Okay, but here are your columns, and of course they're empty. So We'll go back in. Now what we need to do is go to the fields list. And the first thing we'll do is we have a field called image now. And we will change this so that it actually will display the image, and we'll set the column to the image column, and we're actually going to set this to number 2, and that's because I need to allow for another field to be displayed above and below it. Currently, the way it's hard coded is the fields called mark as sold and add trade type are displayed. Mark as sold is normally displayed above the image. So we're going, whoops, wrong column. We want to change the column at this point. And we're going to make sure that this is the first one in the list. And we'll save that. Then we want to go and change the add trade type. Make that third on the list. And we'll save that. If we check real quickly, just do a refresh here of the screen, we should have our images come back. There are images. Here's the sold, mark as sold label. And on this one, that's the trade type label. Okay, but we now need to go in and do the content. So let's go, we're in our fields list. We want to go to the add headline and put that first in order. That in the content column and make that number 1. And then go to the description column item and set that field to be number 2 in the content column. And then the last item we really need to change is the date created column. That in date, we're just going to leave it at number 1 because it's at this point the only one in that column. So now when we go back to list columns, you'll see the entire list here. There, all this is filled in, showing you what is where and the order that they're in. And if you scroll down, now you can see the single column layout. And you have these items here in green, and up here it tells you also what they stand for. When a user's logged in, the items in green here will crop up, but you're familiar with this already. Here's your date column with new and hot above the date and number of hits below the date. These items in green, blue, and red, and the green items will always show above the ad description. The blue and red items will show below the ad description. And here is how it'll look in a 2-column layout. Okay, so if you don't want one of these columns, you can just click on the checkbox here and delete it completely, or you can actually add a 3rd column if you like, depending on how much room you have to play with. If we'll go back to the display page and refresh it, okay, we've got our images, our headline, and our description here. The price column only has 1 item in it. Oh, this one indicates the condition, city, state, phone number, and the date information. If we scroll down here, we can see where the hot button shows up. The deal number is already there. If we go back, the only other change we might want to make is to turn off the display title for image and perhaps any other columns that you want, you can turn off also. So then when we redisplay it, you'll see that the title for image no longer appears. Got to make this demo shorter. It's getting too long. We'll come back to that in a moment. But in this one here, you can see image is dimmed out. All that means is that this is the image one, but because we set it to no, it's not going to display at all. Okay, but this is just here for reference so that you can better understand. And when we come back to this has been refreshed, you can see that the image information title is no longer there. Okay, that ends this one. Look at the other one to see how to change your list display, your add detailed display information. Thanks. Bye.